If you are like most people, there is a gap between the person you are and the person you wish to be. It's not just a small gap either. It's the kind of gap that nags at you every morning when you wake up and see your unfinished goals staring back at you. There are little things you think you should do and big things you ought to achieve. Maybe it's working out consistently, eating healthy, learning a new language, finally finishing that novel, reading more instead of endlessly scrolling Reddit, or actually dedicating time to a hobby that excites you. You know the things, and deep down, you want them. But here's the problem. Achieving those things can feel like it requires a new you. Not just a slightly better version, but a completely different person. Someone disciplined, focused, and unstoppable. Someone who always shows up, always does the work, always pushes through no matter what. Maybe you tried. Maybe you really did. And for a while, it worked. You felt proud. You felt strong. You felt different. But then, slowly, almost imperceptibly, you started slipping back into your old patterns. You skipped a workout. You binge-watched instead of writing. You let the snack drawer win. And suddenly, the new you feels like a stranger, and the old habits feel like home. Every failed attempt leaves a mark. You feel frustrated. You feel annoyed with yourself. You wonder why you can't stick to the things that matter most. And the internet isn't helping. If you believe the success and hustle crowd, it's all your fault. Didn't succeed? You just didn't want it enough, didn't work hard enough, didn't have the grit. But failure is yours alone. Here's the truth. Change is hard. Not because you lack willpower, not because you're lazy, not because you're broken. Change is hard because it's not about forcing yourself to do more. It's about rewiring who you are. And rewiring takes time, patience, and understanding. The problem isn't effort. The problem isn't motivation. The problem is identity. You keep trying to become a disciplined person, but the truth is, you don't need to become anyone else. You need to shift your identity in small, sustainable ways so that your actions naturally align with the person you want to be. Think about it. When someone tells you, "I'm a runner," they don't think about running every day as a chore. They are a runner. Running is part of who they are. It flows naturally. Your goal isn't to force yourself to run, it's to become the kind of person who runs. This is why most people fail. Not because they lack talent, not because they lack time, not because they lack motivation. They fail because they chase results instead of identity. They chase outcomes, losing weight, finishing a book, learning a language, without first becoming the kind of person who naturally achieves those outcomes. And here's the best part. Once you understand this, everything changes. Once you stop fighting yourself and start designing your habits and environment to reflect your identity, change doesn't feel like an uphill battle. It feels inevitable. Small wins start to compound, confidence grows, motivation becomes less critical because the right behaviors are now part of who you are. So, if you're frustrated with failing, take a deep breath. Stop blaming yourself. Stop chasing willpower. Instead, ask yourself a different question. Who do I want to be? Not next month, not next year, but right now. And what is one small action I can take today that makes me that person, even just a little? Because change isn't about transforming overnight. It's about showing up repeatedly as the person you want to become until one day that person is all you know. And when that happens, you won't need discipline or willpower. You'll just be you, the person you always wanted to be, finally living in reality, not just in your imagination.
Because here's something most people never stop to question. If change is so important, why does it feel so unnatural? Why does doing the right thing feel so hard and doing the wrong thing feel effortless? It's strange when you think about it. You don't need motivation to scroll for hours. You don't need discipline to procrastinate. You don't need a plan to avoid your goals. Those things happen automatically. But the moment you try to improve your life, suddenly everything requires effort. You need energy. You need focus. You need willpower. And even then, it still feels like a battle. That's not an accident. That's how your mind is designed. Your brain is not built for success. It's built for survival. And survival does not care about your goals. It does not care about your dreams. It only cares about one thing: keeping you safe and conserving energy. So every time you try to change, your brain asks a simple question. Is this necessary? Working out? Not necessary for survival. Learning a new skill? Not necessary. Waking up early? Definitely not necessary. So what does your brain do? It resists. Not because you're weak, but because it's doing its job. This is why willpower feels unreliable, because you are fighting against your own nature, and eventually, nature wins. This is where most people give up. They assume the resistance means they're not capable, that they're not disciplined enough, that they're just not that type of person. But that conclusion is wrong. The resistance you feel is not a sign to stop. It's a sign that you're trying to change something real. Now here's where things get interesting. If your brain resists change, then forcing yourself harder is not the solution, because force creates friction, and friction creates burnout. That's why you can go hard for a week, maybe even a month, and then suddenly crash. You didn't fail because you're weak. You failed because your strategy was unsustainable. So what actually works? Instead of fighting your brain, you work with it. You make change feel safe. You make it feel natural. You make it feel like part of who you are. This is where identity becomes powerful, because identity bypasses resistance. When something is part of your identity, you don't question it. You don't debate it. You don't negotiate with it. You just do it. A person who sees themselves as organized doesn't argue about cleaning their space. A person who sees themselves as healthy doesn't constantly battle their choices, because their actions are aligned with who they believe they are. And that's the key word: belief. Your life is a reflection of what you believe about yourself. If you believe you are inconsistent, you will act inconsistently. If you believe you lack discipline, you will avoid effort, not consciously, but automatically. This is why affirmations alone don't work, because saying something is not the same as believing it. Belief is built through evidence. Small actions create proof. Proof builds belief. Belief shapes identity, and identity drives behavior. That's the loop. And once you understand this loop, you realize something powerful. You don't need massive change. You need small, consistent proof. Instead of saying, "I will work out every day," you start with, "I am someone who shows up." And then you prove it in the smallest way possible. 1 push-up, 1 page, 1 minute. It sounds insignificant, but it's not, because you are not training your body, you're training your identity, and identity is everything. Think of it like this. Every action you take is a vote for the person you are becoming. Skip the habit, vote for your old identity. Show up, even briefly, vote for your new one. No single vote decides the outcome, but over time, the majority wins. This is how real change happens, quietly, gradually, without force. And one day, you look at your life and realize something shifted. The things that once felt difficult now feel normal. The habits you struggled with now feel automatic. And the person you once imagined is now who you are. Not because you pushed harder, but because you changed at the root. So if you take anything from this, let it be this. Stop trying to force outcomes. Start building identity. Stop asking, "How do I achieve this?" and start asking, "Who do I need to become?" Because once you become that person, the results are no longer a question. They are inevitable. And maybe the gap you've been chasing was never meant to be crossed in one leap, but closed one small step at a time until there is no gap left. Only you standing exactly where you were always meant to be.